You're listening to iLive Radio.
Are you looking for that feel-good music? The kind of music that makes you want to share with your friends? Then you've been looking for iLive Radio, your number one source for music lovers worldwide, playing a variety of hits from soul, reggae, gospel, jazz, hip-hop, funk, and everything in between. Download the iLive Radio app now and listen to us when you're on the go. Available on iTunes and the Google Play Store. You can also listen live on TuneIn and Alexa. iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is the A1 show on iLive UK with DJ A1.
Trust me, everybody has a hard road.
I'm speaking with local creators about the lives they lead and the struggles they face daily.
There are winners, there are losers, and there are people who have not discovered how to win.
Catch some soulful vibes, learn and get motivated every Tuesday from 7 to 9.
Hey, how you doing, guys? This is DJ Magic J with the lovely
Honey B.
And the one and only DJ Express.
Catch us each and every Tuesday night on
iLive UK
with the show called
Who Loves Afrobeats.
And we're going to give you the best flavors in Afrobeat music, entertainment news from the lovely endurance from Nigeria. So make sure you tune in each and every Tuesday night from the hours of 9 p.m. to
12 a.m.
on iLive UK. Who Loves
Afrobeats?
What's good, people? I go by the name Cam Stain from the show House of Stain, making this the only place you can listen to the deepest, waviest, most funky and experimental lo-fi house music in the country. Catch my show every Wednesday from 9 p.m. till midnight on iLive Radio UK via the iLive Radio app.
Hey, what's up? This is DJ Jarzino right here on iLive UK, the station that's changing the way you listen to radio. Catch me each and every Thursday from 9 p.m. till midnight, where I'll be giving you 3 hours of orgasmic sounds, live interviews, and a special ladies seduction selection. So do me a favor, come on, spread the word and share the link. It's the Love Freeness Radio Show every Thursday on iLive UK.
Yo, you're listening to Paolo Large. This is Drops of Tabasco Radio. Make sure you lock in every Sunday, 9 to 11. That's for that chill hop trap soul. We've got future beats, we've got Afro fuse, all of that good stuff. Make sure you come check us out. Every Sunday, 9 to 11, there's no other place to be. Let's go.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
This is Ivy Talks episode number 3. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good to the 2 fine gentlemen in the building that I will address. I have here Meyekal Coree in the building.
What's good? What's good, Miss Draya? How you doing, love?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm feeling fabulous. And then I got Luke on the whole engineering tip, lighting tip, camera tip.
Got your back.
All around producer.
Let me know what you need.
All around producer and Mike check. It sounds great. So I want to start by doing something a little fun, which is not how I would normally start an interview. But I think it's better to introduce, well, we already introduced you, but first of all, pause. Like, shout out to the listeners. Shout out to people who are supporting
Absolutely.
_Ivy Talks.
Let's go.
I got to plug myself. My name is Draya Ivy if you follow me on Instagram. And Ivy Talks is going to be the biggest podcast to come out of Miami because guess what? I said so. But so we introduced you. We introduced you, Meyekal Coree, but I want you to introduce yourself.
All right.
By spitting one of your favorite verses. It can be from your new project.
Oh, geez.
Or it could be anything that just resonates with you.
That's a good one. You caught me off guard right there. Okay.
Off rip.
Right.
Off top.
Just ready, coming
Yeah,
for the jugular.
kind of like something different. We're doing something different. We're doing
Baptism by fire.
Baptism by fire. All right.
We're doing something different tonight.
All right, so cool. What's up, y'all? My name is Meyekal Coree, born and raised in South Florida by way of Jamaica and the Caribbean. So conscious hip hop is where I'm at.
Okay.
That's what I do. My favorite verse so far. I just put out a project a couple weeks ago, the 13th of September, called Corey. Little 5-track EP, nothing crazy. But my favorite verse off of that, because that's where I'm at right now, that's what's on my mind, what's on my heart, has to be probably the opening verse of the track. And my bad, I don't know what to think off right now.
Oh my God.
You're good, man. Just don't be afraid to be intimate with that mic, you know?
Nah. Okay, so, all right, my apologies.
Move it at your free will, you know?
Yeah.
Feel free to move it.
So.
A conscious artist.
Yeah.
You would say?
Absolutely. I just forgot the first. Oh, okay. I forgot the first motherfucking
Can I play
track
it
off
for
my.
you?
Please, no.
Can I? Okay. All right.
Check it. I got
like
this.
that.
I got this.
I like that.
Right.
Okay.
I just had to come back to real quick. Realize what
Let's
was
get
going
it. Let's go.
So it's a track called "The I." Right. Similar to my name. My name is spelt artistically Meyekal, as opposed to the traditional spelling of Michael for the I in the middle there.
Which is the first time I've ever seen that ever.
You didn't catch that? Yeah, most
it's
people
the
don't.
First
Most
time
people don't.
I've ever seen Michael spelled that way. Like,
it never has been. I came up with that, so
that
I came up with that
one.
That's why no one ever gets it. So I'm like, all right, no one ever understands what.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all they'll remember. They'll remember one day.
They will.
But
it's good for search engine optimization.
You feel me? No one else. Second one. The other one, we're not sure what's going on there, but so the track's called "The I," and it's the first verse, and it's a little more aggressive, more lyrical of mine, I guess, for me, but y'all be the judge of that one. It goes like this. Check it. I pray for the sons of the future, so evil never comes their way, for the sins of the men that raised us, the wickedness in the games they play, distortion of peace and justice, manipulation of truths and rights. You can tell that they don't know what love is. You can see it by the hate in their eyes. All of us out here, we searching for freedom. Unfortunately, some we never will find. I can tell when I speak from my heart and they looking at me like I'm out of my mind. Tapping your temple, your spiritual vessel to travel through infinite time. I've said it before and I'll say it again. What goes on in my mental is mine. I am not blind to the fact that the time that we live in this revelation has come true. If he who feels it knows and I put my soul in all I do, I won't assume, nor will I suppose. I never fall back and I will not retreat. But I might put a red dot on your head top. That's a headshot, a renew widow's peak. Babylon system of beast. Search and you'll find what you seek. Born in the home of the heat, where a couple of thousand of people still live on the street. Sent here to do what I can, but never been one to promote all the evils of man. Rally your crew and your clan. We getting it started to kill them again and again. So if that resonates,
all right,
that's where I'm at.
Man.
That's the opening verse. Slow down by a million.
You know what I really like is it's sometimes hard to find conscious rap that doesn't seem pretentious, for lack of a better word, and you don't seem like that. You come off in a just thoughtful way instead of like a arrogant way.
I ain't better than nobody.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Genuine, though,
yeah, it's genuine.
Yeah, no, it is. It's from the heart. Everything that I spit comes from me.
Bars too.
There's a couple in there, bro.
I caught them.
I saw them in there. You got to peep the project, though. You got to peep the project.
I will.
Fuck with it.
Yeah, he will. I
know. After that, I hope so. You let me know what you think, though.
I obviously did. And we're jumping into it right away. So here we are. I actually did listen to the entire project.
Thank you.
I was very impressed.
Appreciate it. Much love.
Very impressed. You do have a very genuine way of expressing concern and expressing almost a disillusion of what you see, and what you feel. And not a lot of people who are labeled as conscious rappers come across that way. Sometimes it seems corny or other times it seems kind of like, you're just trying to gain like a little following. But with 100%. You, it really seems, as also being an empathetic person as well. I know to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're the type of person like
it's about how you see it. It's
you
all
see somebody
perspective, and this is my perspective. You know,
you see somebody fall on the ground and you run, and you go like try to help them. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You would. Like, and I respect that.
Have to, especially like an old person. You see him like, oh damn, you just feel it. It's like that looked like it hurt.
No, I respect that. I respect that. How so how long have you been making music? Like writing, making you write your own music? Do you
write my own music? Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How long have you
I would
been?
say I've been taking it seriously officially about 4.5 years about now. I would say 2015 is when I really put out my first track officially.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been all love, so far. I mean, it's just about keeping it going and making the moves necessary to get, what we need, our sound out there, and try to get people to acknowledge the message and so on and so forth. But from what it has been thus far, all love. Right. So it's definitely motivational, inspirational, all those describing words for what feels good. Like, it's dope. It's dope.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still what a lot of people would consider very new.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Because even
learning every day.
Yeah. Even me as a songwriter 2 years in, and
every
people look at me
day.
and they're like, you don't know anything, like, so, and it's true, I don't have the experience as someone that has 10, but I will.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like eventually, and I think the same thing with you. I think when, and we'll get into this, I think with the label of falling under a conscious rapper, because you rap about things that are actually meaningful or, actually could make someone think about something.
Yeah.
It's not considered pop because it's kind of like, we're not,
it's not poppy.
We're just trying to laugh right now.
It's not poppy.
We're just trying to laugh right now. We're just trying to get drunk right now. We're just trying to, but.
Like, I get that.
But I feel honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I feel like there is there's a growth coming. And
it's you feel it. You feel it.
Yeah, I feel it.
I feel like a lot of us do.
Yeah, I feel
Hopefully,
it. I feel it.
How you do feel about the current state of conscious rap in, say, the marketplace? Like, its value to grow a career?
That's a good question. My man, Luke. It's honestly, to me, it's kind of funny in a way, like how it doesn't get the proper, whether it's exposure or even like how people take it in. Looking for the big word for that, I couldn't find it. Even how people digest, consume, exactly, consume. All those, so many words.
Internalize.
All right, we don't have to hurt his feelings.
Right? You feel me? I was like, I just blanked on that one. But no, how people take it in, and it's just, I feel like it's definitely underlooked. It's there, but it doesn't get as much love as it should. Because even a couple years ago, I was listening to Dizzy Wright a little heavy. And he mentions on the track, he says something about, but his favorite tracks of his, like the conscious shit that he's spitting, like really spitting, don't be getting no movements like on YouTube, on streaming platforms. Like people just don't like it. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, like I like the songs, but he's got those hype ones that people just obviously want to get drunk to, and so on and so forth. Like there's artists that still poke it in there, but they're not going to be the biggest artists.
And he's from Vegas, right?
And he's from Vegas.
He has to have something of that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
That plays a good point.
And he's from Vegas.
He said he's going to stop rapping though.
I
don't know if you follow him on Twitter.
I don't follow him that hard.
Presented basically a very low key, subtle thing, saying, "I can't say what just happened, but I don't think I'm ever going to rap again because I never have to ever."
No,
again.
I didn't know that.
He just opened up the largest of bags.
Wow. Look at that.
Big ups to my dog Dizzy Wright. I mean, if you can stop rapping and do something better than rapping, shit.
If you still make him I think at
he
that
got
point,
that store out there that's still moving. His whole campaign's based off of still moving. So big ups to that.
Honestly, you know, I believe that certain artists, especially in the lane of, conscious, hip hop. It's not an easy lane, right? No. I would imagine that there are plenty of artists that get into that lane, or they try to and they're disheartened by the fact that their record's not moving the same way like Amigos record moving, or like or a Gucci Man or whatever, like anything that City Girls, like, and I'm not, disrespect to the artist at all.
No disrespect to the artist. Like, you're on top. Big ups
it's
to
party
you.
music.
Yeah.
It's fun music.
I like to have a good time too, so I understand completely.
The crazy thing is that all conscious rappers love listening to the ignorant shit too.
Yeah,
we
why
all
not?
Do. We all do.
That's kind of like.
But it's about balance. You feel me? Like I can still go and listen to that and know that that's not like the way, but it's the reflection onto the community listening to it. That's my take on it. That's my, why it's not my favorite genre of music. Like, I mean, one over the other, apples to oranges with that one. And it's the weight on the community.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, honestly, and I mean, it kind of makes sense just when you think about it, period, like on some real shit.
Yeah.
On some real shit. For people to understand the things that you're saying, they have to think at a certain capacity. They have to think at a certain capacity that not a lot of people can think at. And so with that being said, it's not a bad thing because you're only going to have a select few people to understand these things. Like as much as we would like to, have the entire world see things, that are in plain sight, there would be no spectrum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there would be no spectrum. But I
Completely
think
understand.
it is what it is. I think it's not easy to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? And I think in music, not just even conscious rap. Let's take it out of that category. Let's just talk in just music that's meaningful.
Exactly.
That's meaningful. It's not always pop.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too many. No, I'm not gonna go back. Let me retract that. There are a select few artists and writers, I would suppose, that can make a meaningful song and it's a hit.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially nowadays.
Like some people just got it differently.
Especially nowadays.
They got that spirit in them.
Like nowadays, sometimes you're like, oh my God, like you hear number one song and you're like, oh my God, well, what a what a record, and then you hear another, quote unquote number one song. And it's like, are you serious? Like, are you listening to this shit?
Yeah.
Or like, like what is trash music? There is trash music. There's trash music and there's fucking amazing music.
Mm-hmm.
There, again, spectrum. Yeah. So to me, it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, what do you think about that in terms of the kids? Like the demographic that any company would aim for is typically children, and also, from like 15 to like 20 to the early 20s. Yeah. Like this is marketing tactics.
100%.
Like, how do you feel about like the current state of the littles and all these rappers now and that are promoting things that aren't a little worse than maybe some
best,
shit we heard now.
Like not even argument, just how I see it is that there's always been the littles. You get me?
Okay.
Like there was always the generation watching it. But by comparison, like if you look at some of the things going on now and compare them to 20, 40, 60 years ago, some are worse, some are better. It's like a drastic divide, but it was never targeted at youth minds.
Right.
You get me? Yeah. Like they didn't, especially with the movement of like electronics and TV and media and all that. Like you got little kids I work in a restaurant right now as well, on the side, and they're at the table with the motherfucking iPads. Yeah. So, am I good to curse? Am I cursing?
Yeah, you can curse. I was already cursing.
All right, I was like, oh shit.
Of course you can curse.
Like they're at the tables with the iPads, and it's just like,
we can definitely curse. Shit.
It's just nuts. It's nuts.
So
it was never targeted from my from my perspective at the children. Mm-hmm. As much as it is now, because even cartoons that I was watching or we were watching,
had discipline.
Like some of them were a little iffy,
Some were
iffy,
What do you think?
Those early Disney movies are pretty famous for the amount of words hidden in the background.
Hidden, such hidden. Exactly.
It's sad.
But now
sad,
it's more blatant.
They've remastered them, I think.
They've remastered.
I mean,
they've done them a couple times over Netflix. It's not the same edition, initial one.
Okay, this is a segue in a bit, but you know, like I have a 9-year-old little girl, and I've obviously seen like all the kid movies over the last 9 years. Some of them are dope, but some of them are not.
Also true.
And you're in the theater suffering because you just spent $50 and everything was a whack experience.
This was stupid.
You're like, yo, I really paid $50 where I could have just like waited. Like,
how do you feel about letting her watch YouTube? Because there's some dangerous holes in YouTube that I've recently started seeing about.
I've seen those.
I let her watch YouTube. I typically am watching her while she's watching. Well, let me have one too. You know, I'm definitely
ready.
No,
Oh, got you, my man. Got you.
Cheers! Shout to Corona.
There you go, bro. Absolutely.
Okay, I mean, I feel like I watch her. I feel like there's times I don't watch her.
Oops, my bad.
To see, you know, because she doesn't know that I can look up what she's looking at. So
she hasn't found the history yet.
She doesn't know that yet.
She's really smart in keeping it a secret that she knows.
Yeah.
Because then you can also manipulate the history.
I know
There's smart kids out here.
No, she's smart, but she's not manipulative. Not like that. Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
Absolutely. You know, salute to both of you. No, but my bad here. No, you know, I don't think she's that conniving. Yeah, well, I know she's not. So I trust that she's not looking at anything crazy. But yes, there are dark holes. But I feel like the same thing as when we were growing up. You know, I can't control everything. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't control every little, not now, especially not now. Like, you know, even before it might have been easier without the internet, without, you know, the internet. Like, I mean, I don't know what the internet is like the craziest.
Internet's nuts.
The internet
it's like
is
unlimited information.
It is the rabbit hole.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a rabbit hole. But
like, that's it.
If you think about it, it almost reinforces almost like a matrix theory or like a multi-dimensional type realm life of existence that this cannot be just what you know. And I'm getting in my conspiracy bag again. Like the other day. No, but I mean, I just feel like the internet is the crazy. Like, okay, if the internet were a story, it's the craziest story.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
That anyone could ever write. Yeah. Just because.
Imagine making the internet a movie.
Is
there already a movie called The Internet?
I think
there's documentaries.
Like, is it as good as it should be? Like right now in the internet, it was like 20 years ago in the internet.
I mean,
it's a whole new world.
I mean,
now.
even when you talk about the dark net, isn't it the dark net or the dark web? Yeah, the dark web.
It's funny that we call it that because it's realistically just 80% of the internet. It literally is. 80% of the internet is the dark web.
Because no one uses it.
Okay, are you being figurative? Or?
No, that's the literal ratio of real internet to dark web.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Are we talking porn too? Like porn included?
No, everything in the world is on the dark web.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Dark web.
So,
cheers to the dark web.
I was going to research something you had just said, and now I forget it. Cheers to the dark web.
Cheers to the dark web.
You get lost in it.
Bitcoin, you know?
Like, you get lost in it sometimes.
Let's get some. Oh, I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to be a good tech and research.
If you, yeah, I mean, if you could be a hacker,
yeah, right.
Right.
We all need one on our team. Everybody needs a good hacker and a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm going to law school.
Agreed.
Good one. So I need a hacker. I need a hacker.
Every good lawyer probably has to.
Yeah, that's y'all.
Oh, by the time I'm a lawyer, I'm gonna have I'll have a team of hackers.
On call, yo.
I'll have a team of everything on call.
Yeah, whatever you need me
I
to
sound
edit
so
out of this
arrogant.
episode.
No. I mean, I'm just saying I may sound arrogant, but what I'm saying is,
no, it's not that you sound arrogant. You're just implicating yourself already.
yeah, nah, not really. Let me
know when you finish.
I'm speaking
law
on
school.
the.
We'll talk about it.
I'm speaking on the future. It hasn't happened yet. Doesn't I could?
That's exactly what implication is.
Nah, I could argue that.
It's a potential.
I'm drinking beer. I could say I was inebriated. Who knew? I could argue my way. I mean, let's not get into the legal thing. But okay, I get it.
It's important for the audience.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay, you're right. No, seriously.
Yeah, just edit all that out. That's what we were talking about.
Just erase that whole like snippet.
Just cut that on out.
All right. Okay. Back to your music because we've been going on these segues. How do you feel about performing? Like when you perform, do you feel something like that moves you in terms of the reaction from the crowd? Like, is it different from being in the studio, or like obviously it's different from being in the studio, but like, do you really, really enjoy performing and like connect? Do you feel like really connected with your fans when you're like doing it? Like, how do you feel?
Definitely. I would definitely say I've grown into really loving performing. Because we all go through our stages, you start, you got to master it. Certain things you know and you don't know, and you just got to feel it all out. But now where I'm at, as far as even this performance I did that you came through to for the Vegan Block Party,
shout out
to them.
Yeah, shout out to
at
them.
Vegan Block Party on Instagram.
Yes,
super dope event. Super dope event. But it's really cool. What I get most from it is definitely the energy from people. Like you actually feel that. Excuse me, I got a burp real quick. These corona. Goddamn.
Energy is everything.
Got me gassy over
It
here.
happens.
Nah, so you actually feel the energy like being given back. Like with me, at least, it's not. I feel like I don't make the music for people to be just like actually going in and raging or super dancing to, and whatever the case may be. Like the more people sit there and acknowledge what I'm doing, like people go off in like a glare sometimes when they're watching performances. Like you don't know if they're there or they're not there. Yeah. But sometimes you can just tell that someone's there actually listening. And that's what feeds me.
You should turn that into a positive though. The way I see that is I think it comes from being obsessed with comics, stand-up comedians.
Oh man, that's a whole different beast.
But I feel like I'm not jaded in performance enough yet to believe that if someone's not reacting, then I gotta step it up until they react. Like I'm fighting for that person to react.
Okay.
That's how the energy exchange happens. They have to realize that you're trying to give them something.
Right.
No, but then they always start bobbing their head a little bit, whatever the case may be. Like you'll see them after, and they'll be the ones to actually come up and say something to you.
I just like the challenge, I guess.
No, I feel you. Trust me. You can tell, like, if it's more so like people will be bobbing to it, obviously, but you learn to move the crowd. That's more than the half, you know what I'm saying, to performing. Like, once you can, like, start learning about that, and that's where I'm at. I'm not even mastered in this, but, like, starting to understand how to move the crowd and get people to appreciate your actual being up there. Yeah. Also, big thing with me, don't play your backing vocals. Like, don't rap over no track. Please, stop it.
Rappers do not play.
Don't rap over a track. Like if you're spitting, you know?
or I guess all artists. Yes, it's singers too.
I mean, I've dropped a couple of clips on my podcast that are exactly a rant about that, like 4-minute long clips of me ranting just about that.
I'm supposed to be here right now. You see, I'm supposed to be here. Everything that happens in timely fashion.
Oh my God, I love it. I gotta watch them so I can die laughing.
You liked it. You just didn't watch it.
Maybe I did. Or maybe I don't remember, man. Who knows?
Well, you're one of those people that just goes like.
I do
They're a second apart, and that's a 4-minute clip.
Okay.
Watch it.
Just 3 4-minute clips.
All right,
you liked all this real fast.
I'll admit. Yeah,
no, I see that as a nice thing to do because it's like you're making it obvious that you're just
acknowledging
to my algorithm.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging.
I appreciate it.
You know, I and then sometimes I will.
It would
go
be funny if you waited like 4 minutes between each one.
Yeah. You're putting me all out there today. Huh?
No, I like doing that to people too. It helps people in the algorithm. It's something you should do for people you like.
Well, I mean, then I guess I'm doing a good thing. But sometimes I do that. I do it all the time, really, for everybody. But I will go back. Like if I rock with you, I will go and look at your page. Like I will go and look at the person's page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'll watch what they're posting. I may not watch all your stories and all that shit because I'm just not on Instagram like all day like that.
Yeah.
Like lately I've been on the podcasting page at _Ivy Talks. And, lately I've been on the podcasting page more because, I'm building it and everything I'm doing. But other than that, I'm not that heavy into like, letting people know everything. But, I will go back, watch what someone's posting. I mean, show them love, show compliments. Be nosy.
Let them know
time.
I'm here for them.
Now that I know that's a personal thing that hurts you, I'm gonna definitely play it off more.
I don't know where you got personal thing that hurts you from, but whatever it takes to get you interested in my content, and I'm about it.
Your
Marketing
content is very
advertising,
interesting, and I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad we're all here.
Thank you for
Cheers to that. I'm glad I'm here. Cheers
to that. So
I'm starting to realize cheers are dangerous on podcasts because then everyone's drinking simultaneously and you have dead silence.
Oh. Man, then maybe we should take turns.
I just stagger.
Maybe we should take turns.
That works. See, now I know. I didn't know that before, so that's on you there, bro.
When you listen to a podcast and not watch it, it's different.
Exactly.
True. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's true.
No doubt.
Well, so I have to know your top three. Who are your top three hip hop artists? Because someone like you who is very, you're very passionate about your music, I can tell. Top three. Or just top three that you can think of right now.
So hip hop for hip hop, like just as hip hop. Can I go?
You're gonna say Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Big motherfucking Willie.
Big Willie style.
Nah, not Will Smith. But I'll go as far to say Damian Marley is my favorite lyricist.
Damian Marley is. Have you heard War? What's the name of that?
That's Bob. That's his dad.
No, he's got a song. He's got a song about war.
He's got a few songs about it.
No, okay.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm gonna have to find it, and now I'm gonna have to play a clip of it if I can.
I'm your tech. I got you.
Yeah, all right.
So with that though, my favorite just hip hop for hip hop is for sure Nas. And Distant Relatives is my favorite album if we're gonna go that far. Like
which one?
Distant Relatives, Nas and Damian Marley.
Yep.
Yeah. I had.
So that was a huge staple. Album. But if it's just strictly hip hop, definitely Nas. I'll put DMX up there in my top three. And my third is always iffy because it's kind of interchangeable. Not really interchangeable, but it's like, damn, he's a little better. This one and this one is kind of a floating spot. But just off top, I'll definitely say Method Man is for sure up there as one of the most underrated but dopest MCs.
And dope is
That's a really good one, man.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a really good
wild.
one.
I think he changed the flow game in hip hop entirely. No one had that type of soul in just the swing of their shit.
Right.
Until
he
showed
gritty
up.
Too.
Doing it next to
like,
Biggie,
God,
which is crazy.
I got Method Man stories, by the way.
Were you referring to War No More Trouble?
No, that's Bob.
That's what I'm saying.
That's Bob
that is a Bob song. But
there's
that's what Damien doing that song is a popular thing also.
All right. There's this okay. All right. Look up.
Do you know Chantel Babylon?
Look up
of course.
What is it?
You know Chantel Babylon.
Pimpa's okay, look up Pimpa's Paradise. What album that's on. And there's a song on there.
That's
the way the introduction. It's the introduction on that album. It's like dun
in the
dun,
beginning.
Dun, and it's like, yo, that shit.
I know you're talking about.
When he starts going off,
yeah,
you're
no,
like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name right now.
Oh, man. Shit. Nah. Like, I gotta play at least the intro. Like, even if we gotta mute it a little bit, I don't know.
Only
how the
on
rules
YouTube
are
will we have to mute it. Your audio listeners will hear it.
Oh, that's
okay.
Since the beginning of modern civilization.
Yeah, yo.
Generations.
Come
I know that shit from the top.
It's crazy.
Generations of witnessed and inherited holy conflict.
It's
of
nuts.
World Wars.
Like,
okay,
it gets you. It gets you hype.
That's it right
It
there.
gets you hype. It gets you hype. Like, you just hear it.
That's a jam.
While she's getting that, what's your favorite song off Chant Down Babylon?
Off Chant Down Babylon. Off the whole thing. I like the track itself, Chant Down Babylon.
Sorry for that guy. Sorry for that.
That was a pretty dope little. That worked well.
Sorry for that.
It was like the first of its kind at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Roots rock reggae gets me in a vibe nothing else does with the roots in it.
Nothing.
The Roots on Roots rock reggae.
Have I heard that one? I don't know if I've heard that one.
Black Thought does some of the craziest.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've heard that for some reason.
That's a must hear.
That's a must hear.
Roots doing Roots rock reggae.
Yeah, that's wild.
You've never heard who?
The specific track he's talking about. The Roots doing Bob Marley's Roots rock reggae.
Yo, you're nuts, man.
Man likes
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you didn't say Lupe because you mentioned.
Like I said, the 3 is interchangeable.
Yeah,
Lupe
okay.
and Meth like switch for 3rd and 4th. Like
okay, I'm surprised.
For flow.
Wait, did you go through the first 2 though?
Nas and DMX.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah, D.
I was looking for that.
Yeah.
So
D's up there.
Yo, DMX. Let me tell you
He's the
something.
one who brought energy to a new level.
Let me tell you. He brought energy to a new level. His voice. This is something. This is a huge, and I must say this.
What?
That there's a okay. In order to be a performing artist, your voice only counts if you're a singer. That is not the truth.
Not at all.
Rappers who have certain distinctness, like anything that's distinctive about the voice.
First thing I thought when you said that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it makes them stand out.
Yeah.
It makes them like you just know. You like Ghostface.
E40 got famous sounding like Kermit the Frog.
Exactly. Like E40, like with that all the hard R's.
Can't even do that. That's that Bay Area.
Yo, like
I say it with love, man.
No, for sure. No, he's dope. He's a
Young
legend.
Thug. Look at Young Thug, and I fuck with Young Thug. You know what I'm saying?
That Texas, right? Where's he from?
Huh?
Houston or something like that?
Nah, he's from the A, I believe.
Young Thug. Oh, Young Thug.
We gotta get that info. We gotta get that info. We gotta get it.
Yeah,
I already knew you were right. That's why I didn't even look.
I was thinking of motherfucking.
I think he's from the A.
No, he's from the A.
Shout
No,
to
he for
Young
sure
Thug.
is. I was thinking of motherfucker from G Unit for some reason.
But the thing is, even
What's
the
his
A,
name?
I feel like people don't represent the other areas in Georgia well enough. Everyone just says the A.
Atlanta
right.
is the state.
Atlanta
is the state. Georgia's just.
Exactly. I know this because I'm from Boston and I'm not from Boston. You know what I mean?
Feel you.
No, I mean Atlanta's great. Shout out to Atlanta. I'll be there soon.
Okay.
Covering A3C is gonna be great. I wish you could come. I wish you could.
In due time.
You know, in due time we'll be at all of these
100%.
events. We'll be at all of these events. You know, that's why we're
Straight
here.
up born in Atlanta.
Yeah. Nah, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking of who's the
Sylvan
dude?
Hills and all.
y'all gonna come for this one. I should know this. Who's the other guy from G Unit? Not
Lloyd Banks?
Not the other one. The one from Texas.
Oh, so you gonna call me out for not knowing anybody beyond Lloyd Banks?
You
Thanks.
see? Yes.
Now I look stupid.
You see? That's how I'm blanking like both
Young
of y'all
Buck was never
blanking.
on there.
Young Buck. You say Young
Young
Buck.
Buck.
Young Buck.
Was he on G Unit?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So you say Young Thug. I thought.
Wow,
Young
I got
Buck.
it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I need
Yes.
to Daniel Luke.
No, Young Thug has a way of like rapping and
Yeah,
then he's
yeah.
singing, and then like K-Dot is another one.
Yeah.
Like the rapping and the singing. It's like it's dope. It sounds a certain way, and it adds.
Because
It's funny how K-Dot is the irony to our first conversation about the consciousness market.
What do you mean?
He's a paradox.
Yeah.
That
He
he's
is.
literally the king of hip hop, but in the least popular form of hip hop.
And
Yeah.
and there we go.
Because we all need it. Kendrick just figured out how to give it to us.
And then we do. Even in
Right.
his performances,
changed it.
He. I mean, even in like well, Damn is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
But like,
I like his older ones a little more, but I said I like his older ones a little more, but
I mean,
I feel you.
For me, it's
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah. I like Section 80.
It changed my. But I enjoyed it a lot. I jammed it a lot, but when Good Kid, Mad City came out,
it brought a
changed
different perspective.
Me as an artist. I had to
I
make
agree.
sure I didn't do anything he ever did because I respected it too much.
Yeah.
Pissed me off. He ruined all the things that I could have done.
He already got those.
It ruined me. I got mad at him, honestly. Like, I didn't listen to Pimp a Butterfly for like 2 years.
Oh, it's great.
Because
but
I was so
I
upset
felt that,
about
though.
Good Kid, Mad
But
City. It ruined me how much I liked it.
But to
Because
Pimp a
I wanted to be
Butterfly,
the best.
I can agree with you on that one.
Yeah. To Pimp a Butterfly was a little bit more musical. Like, I think he went a little left, like on the jazz sound and the acoustics and like the live instrumentation of it. And so I think he took that album in a completely different direction.
But it was also being presented to a drastically larger number of people. Like,
yeah, that too. But
yeah, he was doing a combination of experimenting and making it more
Section
palatable.
80, Section, he already sounds
but
like
that's when he was
crazy
like
different there.
K Dot peaked, like Super Saiyan K Dot
Yeah,
now over here. He has
That's
to
when you
put
need a
something
new
out.
name and shit.
Like Kendrick Lamar.
Just start going by Lamar.
Shout out Kendrick Lamar.
How many times have you changed your name as an artist?
No, not ever.
once?
Not ever. It's actually not ever.
Oh, well, you are, I guess, more relatively new.
Yeah.
4 years.
I haven't needed to yet.
Yeah.
I haven't needed to. When I need to, I will though. 100%.
So okay, what do you
An exciting moment.
what do you guys think about
I've thought
why it has
You're
to be
almost there.
why is it called conscious rap versus just regular rap? Like, how do you feel about
Because
that?
you have to be thinking to understand it.
Yeah. That's the best way to put it. Easiest way to put it also.
Easiest
But that's
way.
what captures the whole of what it
Well,
is.
semantics, yeah. That is
It's
exactly
what
what
it
it
is. But also to, at least from my perspective, understand that there's another side to the story. Like this is this because this is this.
Right.
So there's that other shit that we listen to, which no discrediting, but it's dope sometimes, but not all the time. When it's all the time, like I've been at the point where I would actually just be listening to house music at like 7:00 in the morning driving to school. Why am I listening to house music right now? Like music is so crucial to like your brain, like your actual structure and
everything,
like your body, like your livelihood, your
Everything.
feelings, your emotions.
Yes.
Like it
Everything.
is as much as TV is able to manipulate how we react.
Music is more powerful.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That shit is wild.
Because people don't have to understand it at all and still feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Like music is like, I'll give you an example.
Best
like,
example, reggae music.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. When I was in Paris, they weren't very nice. Me being American, and even though I'm American, my background isn't American, but me being American and they hear me speak English, they're like, oh my God, this America, and like
I experienced that as a child.
Oh man,
they did it to a child
in France.
Yeah, I was in 6th grade.
Yeah,
No.
it was.
They're
dicks. They're horrible.
For real? That bad?
They're dicks. Yeah, and they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck either. They're like, yeah, like so what? Like, yo, I was at the Louvre, and I was like, which way to the Mona Lisa? And it was like, oh, it's that way. And he looked me dead in the eye and said that. And then he didn't point in any direction. Like, he didn't point in any direction at all. And he looked me dead in my eye. I was like, can you tell me which way to go? And then he's like, that way. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not. You're not.
That's the Boston police class right there. Straight ahead. Straight ahead.
You know what? You know what? Okay.
It's because you're asking the most American
That's
question
cool.
in the most American way.
Everybody's supposed to know which way it is to the Mona Lisa.
They're supposed to know is that you want. It's that they think we only know the Statue of David and the Mona Lisa when there's billions and billions and billions.
Oh,
of
and by the
others
way,
and
may I
years of
comment?
history
Yeah.
surrounding
I'm just trying to see the Mona Lisa right now,
May-
though, bro. So
may
can you show me where the fuck it is?
Exactly. He sees it as cloud chasing.
Yeah, but it still didn't excuse the rudeness. Like the
Back when I saw it, you still couldn't take pictures of it.
Oh,
shit.
well,
6th grade?
you know what I did? They have a barricade. They have a
Listen.
barricade. They have a barricade and a security guard, and it's the only. By the way, I agree
Unless
with
you're
you.
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Well, no, I'll tell
That
you
might
what
have
I
been a
did.
replica.
No, I'll tell
Who
you what
knows?
I did. I'll tell you what I did exactly. What I did. You got to understand, like there is so much more beautiful artwork in that it's a compound.
It's the Louvre.
It's a compound. No, but the
Louvre,
highlight
yeah.
is the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
But it's the least impressive. Like It's the least impressive.
Makes you wonder why the fuck is it even
for me?
like
The
such a big
highlight
deal?
is the ancient Egyptian fucking
I
mummies.
loved it. Yes,
it was literal fucking ancient Egyptian coffins that they ripped out of the fucking ground.
Yes,
it's like, oh, this shit is way older.
These motherfuckers.
Yes.
Way older.
There's a body in that shit, bro. There's a fucking
there was
being
literal
in
mummies
that
all
motherfucker.
over the place. Literal mummies all over the place.
I was just at the British Museum, by the way, in London, and they had also an exhibit. I went to the British Museum.
I heard
and they
that
had,
was crazy
yeah,
too.
and they had the mummies and like the tombs and how they framed the tombs and
Cleopatra's
everything.
fucking wardrobe.
Yeah, the wardrobes and yeah. Well, all right, we're museum heads. All right, I like that. Shout out to the museum.
Shout out
crowd.
to Flying Free. That's how I did
Oh
my thing.
God, I hate you.
I used to. I don't anymore. It ended at 24.
Oh man. Well, I hope you took full advantage of that
Right.
before 24.
Did I mention the Louvre?
You did.
Not to mention the French people.
So like,
but yeah, I feel I've experienced that here and there. French people.
yeah. Well,
Interesting group
French
of folks.
Canadians, maybe.
No, the French people like. So where I work, as I mentioned, just being real for what it is. Like, being mad French people out there.
Yeah,
In the industry.
But I think, but you know, back to that, you know, I think it's kind of a parallel to the music industry. It's just like making the perception, creating the perception, or just Hollywood, the media period, like creating the perception that this is, and in this case, the Mona Lisa, this is the highlight of this entire building. You know, and it's behind bulletproof glass, and it's this and this, and it has a guard.
Brand is powerful.
But isn't
Think
it like
about
pretty
what it
small
actually is.
too?
It's a picture
How
of a
big is
lady.
it?
Yeah.
It's not, I heard it wasn't even that big.
It's way smaller than you think.
Yeah,
You walk
it's
up to it,
way.
you're like,
I know
oh,
it is.
oh, okay.
It's
I
like a
walked
record player,
directly
right?
up
Like
to it.
like
A little bigger than that. I
a
mean,
little bigger than that.
No, it's probably
it's
like
this
Like-
table up to here.
Yeah, like it's not,
Like it's not crazy small,
not
but
big.
it's,
It's not that big
regular
at all.
ass painting.
and it's behind bulletproof glass.
Well, it's also behind
A
photo light
barricade.
protective glass. So when you take pictures of it, the light isn't affecting it.
It's insane. Like, but I snuck behind the security
But that's
guard.
the power of brand. Shout out Michelangelo.
Yeah. Well, Da
greatest
Vinci.
brand builder of the
Shit.
past, century. Excuse me, century, fucking millennium.
I didn't even think about that one. Michael fucking Angelo. Big
But
ups.
I mean,
Big
you know,
ups.
I mean,
We
but
learning from
but
you,
it's
dog.
art, you know. And I think like if we're bringing it back to music, you know, like let's bring it back to
Yeah.
Because you mentioned Nas, and I'm from Queens, and I'm a huge Nas fan, and I've had the privilege of meeting Nas.
Shout out to Queens.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Queens.
shout out
That's
to
exactly
Queens.
right.
I want a lack of danger when I show up there.
Astoria,
So I gotta say
Queens.
it every time.
I'm from Astoria, Queens, so yes, definitely shout out to Queens. But like Nas, when I met him, very, very much who he is on those records.
Yeah.
You feel it, like you
Mhm.
feel his energy. You feel that, you know, he is that person
Yeah.
that genuinely cares.
Mhm.
You know, like what we were saying earlier. You know what I mean? Like, so you can see it, and then you see that he also, in fact, well, he's not the first, but he also crossed the threshold of, on the forefront, but still being conscious.
Yeah.
He had his certain songs here and there, but
yeah.
Do you have a
But
favorite?
like,
of Nas's,
Yeah.
my favorite Nas song,
Or album.
album is
Either He makes it so hard because you want to say Illmatic and you don't want to be the guy that's saying the obvious answer at the same time.
Yeah.
But let's all remember
But-
that not
and-
being that guy is just an ego move, and it's probably Illmatic for all.
It's for sure. Illmatic.
It is Illmatic for all.
It changed
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
We call
Yeah.
next level albums Illmatic
Rewind
as
is
an
on
adjective.
Rewind is on
Exactly.
Illmatic, correct? Or is that
No,
still
Rewind's
Illmatic?
Stillmatic.
Stillmatic.
Like
Okay,
that's a crazy ass track, but like for what it is, Illmatic just holds that place in hip hop.
That was almost his
It changed
low-key
hip-hop.
downfall in the
It
beginning.
changed
Like he
hip-hop.
came back as the legend more so, but
Yeah,
like your
Like,
next
that was
couple
your
albums
best
are
of-
gonna be flops next to that thing, man.
But
It's
if
a
you think about it, that's
monster.
crazy. Like your
he's a
first
monster.
album,
Talk
is your
about the
best
biggest
album
sophomore
ever.
slump of all time. It lasted years.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Shit, for
So
real.
what about so what I wanted to ask is like what about him would you say you admire outside of the obvious that I know everyone says? But what about Nas?
What's the obvious that everyone says?
Like
the man's a beast.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
So
man's a
okay,
beast.
what's your favorite Nas song
My favorite Nas song.
or album?
Album.
Well, we
Illmatic.
already
we
said.
just
Yeah,
we
so
just
song.
got down to that. I'm gonna have to go with probably One Mic.
I love One Mic.
One Mic is probably my favorite ever. I love them. I love most of them. Some aren't my favorite, but like for overall, One Mic takes that spot. 100%.
Man,
he was the MJ of technical skill.
Yeah, he just the way he wrote, like just his writing, his bars, like you just can't.
And on top of that, he dropped out of middle school.
Like it's just
it goes to show like, but what the music
at the same time as MJ though, like on the Bulls.
Around the same time,
like they were sharing the energy in the air or something.
No, around the same time.
Probably, dog. Some crazy shit was going on.
Around the same time, yeah. Like, definitely around the same time. So you got some good taste there.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate
Lupe.
it. Thank you.
Lupe.
My favorite Lupe track?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's tough.
I know. Album.
That's so tough. That's tough too. Yo, Lupe is just a different beast.
The coolest. The cool. For me, it's the cool. I know it's hard between food and liquor.
It's between food and liquor and the cool. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I instantly went with the cool because I literally tried to remix it as a kid.
Yo, that was because it was fucking cool, yo.
It was the coolest.
That shit was the coolest.
So let's talk. Like I foresee. And
but Take Two and Youth was fire. Like his most recent stuff's crazy too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and he's getting like way left field, and he's still dope, and he's still out here.
Fresh, cool, young Lou.
Yeah, he's that's LUPE.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's going on?
You've been listening.
Oh, so now, like, all right. So I look at it like you want to be looked at that way. You know what I mean?
It's not even
like,
how I want to be looked at. I'm not asking to be looked at. I'm asking to be listened to.
Okay,
like,
but in turn,
in a sense, but that's where I feel like we lose it for what it is. Like,
you don't care about the fame.
Eminem loses shit. Yeah, I don't care about the attention more so as the understanding of my acknowledgement of a situation. Like I see something happening and I don't like it, so I'm gonna say something about it, and this is how I'm saying something about it.
Right.
You get me? Like
rapper bars right there.
Yeah, I like that. Impromptu and unexpected.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. Like I just flow off a truth, and I'm gonna just be telling you the truth if you ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of it is like a popularity contest. Like, yo, we ain't in high school no more, dog. You feel me?
Right.
Like, there's no reason to be putting on the way you're putting on. For who? For people to see you? Like, okay.
So what would you like? Okay, so all right, let's talk legacy.
Legacy.
What would you want your legacy to be? I'll take it. Yeah.
I feel like that's Omen talking about that.
That's an omen.
If I may, yeah.
What do you mean?
You can't portray your legacy. Like you can have aspirations and dreams about like your destination, but to say how you want to go out.
Let me reword that. No, I'm not asking you how you're gonna go out.
Not go out, but like the I guess for me, like life, how I perceive life.
No, okay, pause. What I'm asking you is you want your music, would you like your music to be timeless?
Absolutely.
Okay, now with that being said, with it being timeless, what would you hope for your legacy to be in terms of like how people speak on you? You know, like, you know how they talk about, James Brown.
Yeah.
Or Luther Vandross or like this, like not to say like, oh my God, it's super important, but like, what would you want your legacy to be? Like who you were?
Okay, so more so it wasn't about like an omen, I guess, but more so is like, you can't write the future. Like I got to see where that takes me.
Okay.
Like I don't want to say this and make an expectation for this and not meet that expectation, but the expectation I did meet, what is now not good enough? Like, no, it might be even better than what I might say right now.
Right.
So it's like, I might as well just let this ride and see where it goes and to put something into existence that I don't actually want or may change for the better or worse,
True. What's our time, Jack? All right, there we go. All right. So we're going to be closing up soon.
All right.
Obviously, we got to, unfortunately, we got to cut it a little short.
It's all good.
But what I want to end, I want to know all about your social media, your new project.
No doubt.
Just to plug it in and everything.
For sure.
And which one is your favorite song on that album?
My favorite track.
On the new
All right. So social media plug-in
Is
real
I'll
quick,
play
just so I
it.
don't forget
Yeah,
to do
play
that.
us out on it is what I was gonna say.
That's what I'm gonna
play
play.
us out on it. All right.
Play what?
Play us out on it, like after he goes through all that.
Yeah. All right.
That's
That's
how
what I'm
we
gonna
end
do.
this.
No doubt. So yeah, social media, Meyekal Coree, Instagram, Facebook, all that. It's spelled a little differently because, as I mentioned earlier, I put the I in it. It's at Meyekal Coree.
All right.
Meyekal Coree, newest project that I just dropped titled Corey, second actual release that I've put out with some, real feeling behind it. 5 tracks, nothing crazy, a little off the top, not really even off the top, but just a little of my soul, my conscious, where I'm at for you. Favorite track? That's tough. That's real tough. Cause I love them all like my babies.
As you should.
Like my babies, you
As
feel
you
me?
should.
Took the words out of my mouth.
But I'm gonna have to go with the track that I mentioned to y'all earlier, the opening track off the project. Full Clip's a close second because that's really like digging into hip hop, and I would love to be able to chop it up about hip hop again in the future. Just
we will
where it comes from.
We will.
For
Why
me.
not?
But definitely the I is my favorite. It's just more relevant to what I see.
So, all right, I'm going to play that. I'm going to thank both of you gentlemen for podcasting with me.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime.
On the Ivy Talks show, _ Ivy Talks, IVYTALKS. And I am Draya Ivy, the host. And I hope that we all had a good time this evening, learned something this evening, inspired one another, and inspire
100%.
our listeners.
Absolutely.
Follow, like, subscribe.
Follow,
All
like,
that,
and
all that.
subscribe.
YouTube,
And I'm going to
Spotify,
play
SoundCloud,
yes.
iTunes.
Check him out
Apple
on all
Music.
music platforms and
All that stuff.
All that stuff. And here we go with the I.
Yeah. Class 1 music. Meyekal Coree. Let's go.
Are we still recording? All right, cool.
I pray for the sons of the future, so evil never comes their way. For the sins of the men that raised us, the wickedness in the games they play. Distortion of peace and justice, manipulation of truths and rights. You can tell that they don't know what love is. You can see about the hate in their eyes. All of us out here, we searching for freedom. Unfortunately, so we never will find. I can tell when I speak from my heart and y'all looking at me like I'm out of my mind. Tapping your temple, your spiritual vessel to travel through infinite time. I said it before and I'll say it again. What goes on in my mental is mine. I am not blind to the fact that the time that we live in his revelations come true. If he who feels it knows, I put my soul in all I do. Won't assume, nor will I suppose. Never fall back and I will not retreat. But I might put a red dot on your head top. A headshot, a renewal don't speak. Babylon system of beast. Searching, you'll find what you seek. Born in the home of the heat, where a couple of thousand of people still live on the street. Say here to do what I can. Never been one to promote all the evils of men. Rally your crew and your clan. We getting it started to kill them again and again.
Big ups to my dog Maroon. The feature of Maroon Rhythms.
Blah, blah.
I know that this isn't just what you thought. Been reading the Emerald Tablets of Thought. We paid the cost. We been linking with the boss, Hey yo, this shit is elemental. Written in your DNA and hidden in your temple. More like omnipotent, no POTUS, no presidential. Yo, my shit is potent and seeping into your central. The system getting nervous, they running out of credentials. Babylon is burning, I'm building on my potential. Lyricism matters, yo, this shit is so essential. Words sound and power, they cower when I present who the fuck I am. This righteous man, at least I like to think so. Apocalyptic vision got me living on the brink, yo. Infinite decision with infinite possibility. Living in my spirit, been giving God like ability. This lyrical agility, I'm swift with the wordplay. The evidence empirical, I do this my own way. Prefer the immaterial, the heavenly ethereal, the God body imperial, the natural earth way, my rebirth way. So who God bless, no man could ever curse. Picked up all the pieces, put it back into a verse. To live is to suffer, and to suffer is to survive. And in between the meaning, that's the reason you're alive. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
First time you actually heard it. What may I ask?
I mean, you have to be specific. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Your first impression of it, like your first immediate thought.
Should you play it again?
Okay, we're doing it like that.
No, that's just an explanation of my understanding and energy that I received.
Okay.
I mean, you can play it again if you want. Do as you will. I'm just saying.
No.
For sure.
I hear that.
I like that.
Are we still?
Run it back. That's the
on?
best
I mean,
possible.
you can say goodbye again if you want, but I'll probably fade it out after.
Okay. All right. Here we are. Well, then get on the mic so that you can say bye too. Because then you're not going to say bye. Look at you. Anyways, it's been great. It's been amazing chopping it up with you. I want to thank you for coming by and taking your time out.
For having me.
Oh, no, of course. Well, okay, then the feeling is mutual. Is mutual. It was great.
Absolutely.
I admire you. I admire what you're doing. I admire your art.
Love.
I admire your want and need to inspire and lead a community that clearly needs that, because I also feel those same sentiments. And I feel when we unite with like-minded people, we are able to do things that are incredible and infinite and timeless. Just like your music says.
Straight up.
So we're here.
I say it on music because I can't figure out how to say it in person. That's the half of it right there.
But all right, good night to everyone. To everyone, a good night, good blessings, and love and light. And follow, like, and subscribe at Ivy Talks.
Bang bang.
Bang bang.
You're listening to iLive Radio.